Love lives here.
Absolutely. So, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I am so excited. I am so joy-filled and joyful to be once again reintroducing this community to our very own beloved ministerial intern, soon to be assistant minister, Sonja Prince. She will be presenting this morning and doing the message this morning. I had to share her with you now. I could not wait. You know I'm in this joyful expectancy for the new year and what's to come with the morning table in January, and I couldn't hold off. I couldn't say, no, we'll wait until January. Absolutely not. We had to. I had to make sure that she had the opportunity to share with all of you this year, right now. So, Sonja has been a practitioner for more than 12 years. She has been in school she was in school with me. She took a little break. She went back to school. So it's great that she is bridging these groups of ministers that I know from both being in classes with them and then teaching classes for the newer group. So it's really wonderful. And so it is just a thrill and a pleasure to have my dear friend join us here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. So I invite you to please give her a warm, generous Riverside CSL Love Lives Here welcome. Here we are, Ministerial intern, Sonja Prince.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction and welcoming me here. And because it feels like home, and when you say love lives here, that's what I feel. So, thank you so much. And, today's talk title is The Pursuit of Happiness, and I wanted to share my granddaughter with you. Because in this pursuit of happiness, children have it all the time, unless they're crying about something, but children have that childlike wonder in them. And so on this picture, she's looking at the Christmas tree. And she has a gift in her hand, but she's waiting on the next one. So what is this thing called the pursuit of happiness? So last week, Reverend Jeffrey talked about the season of Advent, and he spoke on hope and peace. And so he talked about Christians observe Advent as a waiting for something new, a new event to come. We observe this event as the Christ consciousness, but we're not waiting for it to happen because we know we already have it within us. And so what we need to do is open up to it, awaken to it, transform our lives by, knowing and recognizing it. So that's what we have to do. And have the faith of God he talked about last week, and not the faith in God. Because the one that we are searching for and looking for is already within us already, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. So today we are birthing, talked about birthing and midwifing last week. So today we are birthing joy. And technology is trying to skip ahead. It's doing it before I do. So today we are birthing and awakening to joy. And the talk title is The Pursuit of Happiness, Finding Joy and Having Enthusiasm in Our Lives. And so we need to define what joy is. And joy is that emotion excited by the expectancy of good, gladness, delight, and exaltation. So that is what joy is. So these emotions that we have, they're like a guiding system, like a GPS. And so what it teaches us is it gives up to us, our emotions kind of give us a barometer of where we are in our consciousness and what we're feeling. And so I look at these emotions as a spice rack. You look at your spices and you have your paprika, and it's bright and red. maybe a little burgundy color. And then you have your cumin, that's a little, beigey, yellow. And then you have your black pepper and your salt. And then you have your all kinds of spices. And I kind of equate that to our emotions. So we know that when we're using spices in our cooking, that it can either go good or it can go way bad. Sometimes we use a little bit too much salt. Sometimes we pull down. I remember one time when I was younger, and my stepfather was a minister. So if I said, I'm sick today, I don't want to go to church. So as a way of punishing me, well, if you're sick and you can't go to church today, then the house better be clean when we get back. And the dinner had better be ready when we get home from church. So I learned how to cook. But on this one occasion, I said, you know what, I'm going to make a cake. I'm going to make a cake. I'm going to surprise them. I'm going to make a cake. But guess what I did? Salt and sugar looks just alike to me. And because I was new at this thing called baking, I kind of messed up the ingredients and put too much salt I put the salt where it should have been the sugar. So they came home and the dinner was served and the cake was there and they cut the cake and they took a bite. And they graciously said, mmm. Then they put it down. My mom said, honey, I think you mixed up the salt and the sugar. And so I never did that again. I learned to taste before I put it in something. So our emotions are like that, and it provides us with this great information. And like I said, it serves as a guiding post or processing center for reflection, exploration, and our growth. Our emotions is likened to, that rack of spices, and we have to be careful of what we're putting in and what we're putting out, because it can either be for our highest good or it could be detrimental to someone if we're not careful. So, yesterday when I was reviewing my talk, I said there is a Disney movie, and we have 4 kids and we have 2 granddaughters, and so we know all the Disney movies from back then and from now because they want us to participate in their lives. So how do we do that? We watch these movies with them. That's how we do it. So we watched this movie Inside Out, and the film encouraged a full spectrum of emotion. This little girl, she had this whole spectrum of emotions going on in her life. And there's nothing wrong with feeling them, but putting them in the right perspective and using those emotions at the right time in our life. So in this pursuit of happiness, we have to be careful of how we display our emotions. So it brings me back to what Ernest Holmes says in our We Believe statement. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become revealers of truth who lives in close contact with this indwelling presence. So we want to always be in contact with this indwelling presence because it's there. It's there. The greatest trick to man is to put this consciousness within us. And so we're looking for it over here, we're looking for it over here, but it's an inside job. We have to look within. So, so this is an inside job. And there's been songs about joy and this pursuit of happiness, right? So one song was Happy by Pharrell, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel. And then there was this other song that, Don't Worry, Be Happy. So there was that one by Bobby McFerrin. And then for the kids, it was If You're Happy and You Know It, clap hands, stomp your feet, Say amen. Amen. So there's all kinds of things out there that are telling us, just be happy. Find the happiness. The happiness is within you. The joy is within you. We don't look for outside things to bring us happiness or bring us joy because it is inherent already within you. It's there. It's there. So therefore, you can always access it. Isn't it wonderful to have this thing that you can access at any moment? You know, like in this world now we live in, we want things instantaneous. We get our news instantaneous. We get our social media and we know what's going on all around the world. But guess what? Tap into what's going on within you. We can tap into that anytime as well. So, so we cannot allow these emotions to take us away from the joy just because something is occurring in our lives. And I know that might be easier said than done. So we appreciate, what we appreciate is in this joyful life is that we can go to gratitude when something happens. And this last 15 plus months of my life, things have happened. Big things have happened. And so I can choose to be out of joy and be in discontent, but I chose to take it for what it was, an opportunity for my growth, an opportunity for my learning, an opportunity for my expansion, an opportunity for my transformation. And do the work. I did the work. And so all those things that I call bad, which weren't bad at all. Because if it's meant for your good, then it's good. There's no good or bad, it's just our perspective of how we look at it. I can turn this way. You know, two people can have the same experience and one can moan about it and the other one can see it as an opportunity for growth, right? Okay. So the realization of spiritual joy also flows through the mystical currents of other faiths. So this thing called joy, this pursuit of happiness, it flows through other paths of faith. So in the Lotus Sutra of Buddhism, the divine declares, I appear in the world like unto this great cloud to pour enrichment on all parched living beings, parched with thirst, to free them from their misery, to attain the joy of peace, joy of the present world, and joy of nirvana. So in the Quran it says, for those who believe and whose heart finds satisfaction in the remembrance of God is inward joy and the beauty place, a beautiful place of return. And then in Hinduism it says, from the heart of Hinduism, the infinite is the source of joy. Ask to know the infinite. And then in Sanskrit, thou art God, and God enjoys being God. And then Ernest Holmes says, I believe in a religion of happiness and joy. There is too much depression and sorrow in the world. These things were never meant to be and have no real place in the world of reality. So, what do you think about this thing called joy in this pursuit of happiness? How are we going to take it on past this season? Because right now, we're in the season of love, hope, joy, goodwill towards men. We see people, driving to the stores and, they're happy and they're shopping till they're dropping. And then they're opening gifts and they look like this and they're just excited about This Christmas season, this season of Advent, all the things that are going on, we're so happy. And this is an easy time to be in joy and peace. You know, somebody cut you off at the freeway, but I'm going shopping, so maybe they had somewhere to go and they needed to get there. You know, we're smiling and at people, and what happens after the season? How do we stick in joy? What happens after the day after Christmas? What happens when you go back to return some stuff and the line is all the way out the door? What happens then? Are you in joy? Are you in frustration? Oh my God, where did all these people come from? Well, everybody had the same idea that you had. They didn't like this ugly sweater that Grandma got them, so they're returning it. So, what happens next? So Ernest Holmes says, no matter what the occupation of a person, they are a mental and spiritual practitioner. From such daily meditation, they should venture forth into a life of action and the will to do, the determination to be, and the joy of becoming. So after the season where we recognize peace, joy, love, goodwill towards men, and then how do we carry that on into our life in this pursuit of happiness and joy that is already within us? We just need to recognize it in our human experience. And so how do we get there? We look within. And many people are looking outside themselves for happiness and they rely on others to make them happy. But happiness, again, comes from within. Like I said before, it is an inside job. But it takes commitment. It takes dedication. It takes your willingness to want to change your life. We talk, on Sundays about these practical application, change your thinking, change your life. And then we go home, and I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying in general, people go home and say, well, how was Sunday service? It was great. Well, what did the minister talk about? The music was really good. What are you taking away from this Sunday, the talks? What are you taking away when Reverend Jeff gives us homework? Are we actually doing it? Are we actually taking the information? Are we listening to? Because you have access to the messages again on YouTube, on Facebook. You have access to it. So if you have forgotten what the homework is or what we need to do in spiritual practice, you can always revisit it by going on your social media accounts or on our social media accounts or on the website. So we have no excuse in this pursuit of happiness and joy. We have no excuse on why we're not there. Why we're not having this experience of joy in our lives on a daily basis, because we have practical tools. And if you use those tools and you do the work, then you tap into that God place that's already there. If you do your meditation and get quiet, Jubel sang a song at the Christmas show, I need a silent night, a holy night. And that's a redirection to let go all of the noise that happens out here and might be happening in our heads and get quiet. Find and get to your silent night, your holy night. And all that means is go within. Be still. Listen and hear that still small voice within you. And there you will find your joy, your peace. We also need to have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful. I am so grateful for this life. I am so grateful for whatever you fill in the blanks. I'm so happy and grateful for. Focusing on your blessings. So the other thing you can do, choose to identify with power, with love, with beauty, with joy, with peace and happiness, turning one's attention from what we want to accomplish, not necessarily what is happening right now. This is a mental equipment then, and eventually it comes to pass. What you focus on, fill in the blank, increases, manifest. I can focus on the lack, the limitation, what I see out there, what I hear on the news, what I see over there. I can focus on all that stuff, and guess what's going to happen to me? I'm going to get more of it. I can focus on the blessing that I am to be alive, the blessing of my family, the blessing of my church community, this beautiful center here, Riverside CSL, and all its wonder, and it's a beacon of light in this community. I can focus on that. The joy that I get when I'm here, seeing all of you and all your faces, saying hello to the people online. Hello, people online. I can focus on that, and I'm going to get more of that. I'm going to get more of that love lives here. I'm going to get more of that joy. I'm going to get more of that peace. I'm going to get more of that happiness. In the pursuit of happiness, I'm going to get more of that. I choose to focus on the good. God is absolute good. In me as me, and you as you. I choose to focus on that. Another thing we can do is pay it forward. That's a principle of giving from a space of abundance and gratitude. A loving act of kindness that brings the giver and receiver a sense of joy. Relish in the good stuff. Focus on happiness, contentment, joy, gratification, satisfaction, well-being, and gratitude. Story for you. So my husband and I, we took our grandkids to Kansas to visit my mom for Thanksgiving. And my mom and I we were having a conversation, and her husband, which is my sister's father, was talking about he goes to a restaurant and he over tips. And if he sees someone in need, he may pay for something for them. And so we were just talking about it in the store, and we were talking about how grateful, I was talking about how grateful I was to be in Kansas again. I hadn't been there for 7 years, and take the grandbabies, and this grandbaby she had never met before. So we took the grandbaby. So we were in the store just chatting away in line with our groceries. And I guess the person in front of us was listening. But I think what they heard was the joy in our voices and in our expression. Because when we got up to the register, and the lady scanning, and my mom and I, we're not paying attention, we're still talking, but they're scanning away, beep, 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 beep. And the person was still there. We're like, okay, we haven't looked good. What's going on here? Paying for all our groceries. Over $100 worth of groceries. Paid it forward. My mom walked up to the person and said, you didn't have to do that. But we are so grateful that you did. Thank you so much. So it left us feeling with a heart of joy, peace, all that. Abundance, prosperity. We didn't expect it. So when we got back home, she was talking to her husband, and she was like, guess what just happened? And he was like, the goodness of God in me made it possible for you to be rewarded, because I do it all the time. Took full credit for it. But we let him. So in this pursuit of happiness, Go within, be in excitement, be in this enthusiasm. Wake up in the morning and set your intention for the day. I'm so happy and grateful to be alive. I'm so happy that I know my name. I'm so happy that these limbs still move like they're supposed to move. I'm so happy that my spouse is right next to me. I'm so happy and grateful for all the offerings that life has to give for me today. And I set my intention to give joy, to be in peace, to be in gratitude for all that comes my way this day. Because all I have is this day. All I have is this moment right here is all that I have. I am so happy and grateful. So be in excitement, be in childlike wonder, have a face like this. Contemplation on your day and all the good that Spirit God, whatever you wish to call it. What did you call it the other day? Ralph. Ralph has to give. Wants to give to you. So in conclusion, happiness is driven by a state of mind, consciousness and awareness, living life from the place of enthusiasm, of joy, expectancy, positivity. Positivity is key. Positive, please. And it lifts your spirit and creates a place of joy within you. Life then feels less like drudgery, regardless of how bad things may be in our circumstances or in the world. Focus on the good. Learn to flip the story by shifting our perspective to see things more as an opportunity for learning and growth rather than focusing on negative sides of the picture. Sometimes, though, you can't see it because you're in the picture, right? If you're in the picture and you're going through something, you can't see your way out of it. You've tried to go within and you just can't shake it. Guess what? We have practitioners. We have prayer warriors. Let us know for you until you can know it for yourself. We have classes and workshops to teach you how to move yourself from here to here. From a place of dread to a place of joy, expectancy. And so, Isaiah 55th chapter 12 verse says, "For you shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the fields shall clap their hands." So, clap their hands because they're happy. So for your homework, I'm going to give you some homework, and I'm going to check it next week. You've heard people say, start a gratitude journal, right? How many of us have started a gratitude journal and it's sitting on our nightstands? And we may or may not pick it up. So I'm going to say, start a gratitude box. So I know I love to craft, and I know Dinah loves to craft, and many of you out here may love to craft as well. Get a box. Either you can buy a box that's already decorated, or you can decorate the box. Make it a gratitude box, a box of joy, and put things in it. Put blessings and prayers in the box. Put intentions in the box. Put things that bring you joy in the box. And then when you're feeling down and out or whatever you're feeling, take it out and read it. And see, doesn't it change your mood and bring you joy? So there's a commercial that's on right now, and it's about these vegetable and fruit gummies for the elder population. And I don't know if that was politically correct. But I'm in that age grade. I get a senior discount when I go places, so it's all good. So, and you see this woman, and she has a son, and she's writing him little notes, and she puts it in his lunchbox, in his bag, and she said, remember to eat your fruits and vegetables, remember to eat your fruits and vegetables. And she gives him other little notes too, I love you, blah, 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 all these little sweet things that when he opens it up, he can read the notes from his mom. She does this through elementary school, through high school, through college. And then you see him, he's getting married, and now you see him fast forward and he has a son. And you see him writing little notes for his son as well. And then the scene changes where they come to the mom's house and they're having dinner and they give her a gift. And the gift is all the little notes that she'd given her son. Gratitude. Be the demonstration of joy in the world. Be the demonstration of gratitude in the world. Be the demonstration of love in the world. Be the demonstration of peace in the world. And what you will receive is joy, love, peace, gratitude in return. And I'm almost done. So I leave you with this poem. Actually, it's a letter. And the letter was written in 1513 to a countess from Giovanni, who was a Renaissance pioneer, accomplished as an architect, engineer, and archaeologist, classical scholar, and Franciscan friar. Say, today we remember him most for this letter to the countess. And it says, I salute you. I am your friend, and my love for you goes deep. There is nothing I can give you which you have not. But there is much, very much, that while I cannot give it, you can take. No heaven can come to us unless our hearts find rest in it today. Take heaven. No peace lies in the future which is not hidden in this present little instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within our reach, is joy. There is radiance and glory in darkness. Could we but see? And to see, we have to only look. I beseech you to look. Life is so glorious. Life is so glorious a giver. But we, judging its gift by our conveying But we, judging its gifts by its covering, cast them away as ugly or heavy or hard. Remove the covering, and you will find beneath it a living splendor, woven of love by wisdom with power. Welcome it, grasp it, and touch the angel's hand that brings it to you. And so it is. Do we have our affirmation? Okay, we'll do that later. All right. So I just invite the practitioners, ministers, and core council to just have some stragglers there. So I ask you to join me in consciousness. And so what I know right here, right now, is there's one mind. And in the consciousness of this one mind, this one power and this one presence that we live, move, and have our being in. So it is within us. It always has been. It always will be. There's no way to be separated from it. It is all good. It is all God, Spirit, the universe, whatever you choose to call it. It is one power, inseparable from us, inseparable from ourselves. And so what I know about that power and presence, that it lives, moves, and has its being in me, and it also has its being in you, as you. You, beloved, are the individualized expression of this one power, this one presence. Dinah said today, in the beginning, there was only one. There will always be only one presence and power. We are powerful beings because we live in the one. It lives in us. It is transformative. It is abundant. It is prosperous. We only need to look within. We can look without too. As we look outside and we see the beauty in the trees and the flowers and the mountains and all of this that was created by the one. This magnificence that we see all around us. There is also magnificence when you look in the mirror. You are magnificent. You are love. You are peace. You are joy. You're all of it. It chose to create you out of itself. So what that means is that all the attributes of it, the one, is in you. And you can access it. There's nothing to be healed, only the truth in you to be revealed. And I implore you to reveal it, to go within, to do the deep work. Because what awaits you is joy, is happiness, is prosperity, is abundance, is perfect health and wholeness, because it all lives within the one. So we give thanks for the opportunity to come together in community today to know what we know, to hear again the truth of our being. We give thanks for this beautiful sanctuary, this beautiful place, which is CSL, Riverside CSL. We give thanks that it is a beacon in this community. That as we go out after this service, we leave here in joy, in that pursuit of happiness that we talked about today. And we know right where to find it. So I just ask you to take a deep breath and breathe in this love, breathe in this peace, breathe in this atmosphere of gratitude, this atmosphere of love, this atmosphere of all that it is here at Riverside CSL. And don't leave here with something on your heart. See a practitioner, inquire about a class. And just know the doors are always open for you to come and experience the love that lives here. Thank you, and so it is.